Yes, a very talented actress who first became well-known as the Bionic Woman on television. She's gone on to do many films and series. She's become interested in nutrition and has written a fascinating book called The High Road to Health. Please welcome Lindsay Wagner. Well, you look very healthy.
Oh, thank you. I feel pretty good.
Yeah. Now, did you write this all by yourself here?
I wrote that with my friend and co-author, Ariane Spade.
There you go. That would be her on the back here.
Yes, indeed.
Now, how did you get into this? Did it start with being bionic or anything, did it?
No, actually, it helped me be bionic. Gosh, I started being a vegetarian back in the 60s and kind of went off it for a while because back then there were only about 7 of us in the country.
Yeah, right.
And, when I got into the film industry, actually when I was modeling and then went into the film industry, when I started traveling around the country, it became very difficult to eat on the road. When you're home cooking, doing your own thing,
I know.
it's
Tell
one
me
thing.
about it. Yes, yeah.
And so I went back to eating fish and chicken for a few years, and then the more I learned about how to balance my proteins and where to find the stuff in other cities, then I went back to it completely again.
But how about the old days of, like, when I was a kid, they used to show the balanced meal with the potato, the huge rib roast, a piece of chocolate cake.
That's right.
Remember those? They used to. Is that? I mean, that whole thing of a balanced meal. This much meat, little potatoes,
depends on
whatever it is, vegetables. Is it bad?
It's well, the amount of meat that we take in. I mean, we know that there's information coming out all the time from all different sources. It's not just kind of left-wing airy-fairy sources.
Right,
you know,
I understand.
Our legitimate doctors are coming out and saying we just eat too much meat. And the meat is not clean meat. You know, it's full of chemicals and steroids and all kinds of things. And there's so much fat. We know about fat, where everybody's heard about protein and all different kinds of things. We know about the need for fiber. There is no fiber in meat, and there's a lot of fat. So you take that out of your diet, you've taken care of 2 of the most important problems that we're dealing with in the mainstream today.
Well, I'll give you an example of something like that. I was in a market the other day. I bought some vegetables from one of these kind of health markets. I got home. Now, I'm allergic to whatever it is they spray, whether it's MSG or whatever it is. And what I bought these fresh cherries, you know? I took to them. I thought I was going to die. I mean, they were cherries, but I guess I bought them at a natural store, and I went back, and the guy goes, well, nothing's really all natural. That's what he said to me.
Well, it's true. People say, well,
and they
spray things when they grow your vegetables, too, and when they grow your rice, and that is also true.
Is anything safe, really, anymore?
It's so much safer.
Yeah.
For example, when you eat a piece of meat, you have the benefit of that cow's entire life's worth of chemicals that are sprayed on his food. You get all of it for his whole life in one piece of meat. Whereas when you eat a bowl of rice, you just get one little psh that's been on that rice when it grew first. Ah. And so the amount, you know, unless you're eating organically grown stuff, I mean, it's hard. Our planet is so messed up at this moment with our groundwaters being, that it's hard to grow anything, even if you didn't use anything on it, just simply because you're the neighbor to some farm over there whose stuff is washing down onto your stuff. You know, it's tough, but you can certainly cut enormous amounts of it out.
Like when your mom comes to your house now, is your mom kind of a meat and potatoes gal, or is she the same type?
My mom sneaks to McDonald's before she comes to my house because she knows where she's going, you know.
Well, see, I have a friend that's kind of, who's like a real vegetarian, you know, and so that's what we do. Let's eat and then go to Rick's house, you know.
But we tricked her once, you know. I wrote about it in the book. On it was my birthday, somebody's birthday anyway. Ariane and I got together and decided we were going to have a meal, and we were going to have it so early that we knew they wouldn't go out and eat before they came over.
Sneaky, yeah.
And we served sausage and peppers, which we have in this book.
Oh, this is the one I saw.
One of the things that we worked on very carefully, because we want people, this was a book that we designed for people who want to take more meat out of their diet, not just the person who's a strict vegetarian.
I tell you, this one here, this New Age Italian sausage, I went, okay, tofu. There's no sausage in it.
It's not what it looks like, it's what it tastes like.
Oh, but Italian sausage is so good.
Yeah.
Really? But there's no sausage in it. It just has, like, Italian sausage written on it.
I know. But now you have to taste it before you feel that way.
Oh, no, I'm sure it tastes good, but it doesn't taste like Italian sausage, does it?
It tastes Close.
It tastes close. Well, okay. Because I saw Italian sausage.
But you also have, you know, spaghetti meat, you have lasagna, you have all those things. I mean, nothing is going to be exactly something else, you know.
No, I know.
Ever.
But it says Italian sausage.
But if there's a benefit, there's a benefit.
Now, how many kids in your house now?
Now there are mostly 2 and many times 5.
Right. Now,
Just recently married. My husband has 3 daughters.
Right. Now, what do you do now? The kids, does your food seem bland to them when they go out and they get all these sugar treats and fast food? I mean, do they...
They've grown up on it.
Yeah.
My older son, for example, he's extraordinary. He didn't have sugar until he was way up in his, you know, in his 5s. And he will go to a birthday party, and I don't say, no, you can't have it because we don't eat sugar at our home. They have a little piece of cake. But he usually eats about half of it because he can't take it. You know, we're so conditioned to like what we like. It's not because the human race likes it. It's because we've been told that's what's right. When we were children, if you're good, you'll get a piece of candy. It's mental conditioning.
Well, that's
so
true.
much of the time.
I always wonder how that works. I always wonder if you have that thing. It's like being the cop's kid is the one that's always in trouble. You know, if someone's drummed into you, sometimes happens.
Okay. So they don't have as much of a time with it as people think they would. I mean, they see it, they hear it from other kids, and then occasionally they get the tug.
The high road to health. I'm going to try this Italian sausage thing and give it a shot when I go home. And I get a free book.
Yeah.
We'll be right back right after this. Lindsay Wagner.